There are 28.5 million solopreneurs in the US right now. That's 82% of all businesses, and the majority stuck. Most of them are working 10, 12, even 14 hours a day, and on average are still making around $47,000 a year. Here's the part that no one talks about. Solopreneurs are the biggest group of business owners in the US, but they're also the least supported and the lowest earning. Most solopreneurs don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they are loyal to a broken model. They were told, hustle, grind, do it yourself, but that model burns them out. It keeps them small. And worst of all, it makes them believe it's their fault. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 10 silent traps that's keeping over 28 million entrepreneurs stuck and show you the first step to finally building a business that scales. And the first silent trap is the one that almost every entrepreneur starts, but many never escape. That first silent trap is time for money. See, when you trade time for money, freedom fades fast. If your income depends on your hours, you don't own a business, you own a job. This is how it looks. You charge by the hour, by the session, by the project. You're stuck in a model where income is tied directly to how long you can stay awake and work. At first, it feels smart, safe. You think I'll just get really good at what I do and raise my hourly rate, but there's a hard ceiling because you can't scale your time. Worse than that, this model trains your clients to value your availability, not your expertise. They pay you based on your presence, not the results. They treat you like a task doer, not a trusted advisor. Think about it, think about it this way. Would you trust a doctor more if they took longer to diagnose you? Would you pay a lawyer extra just because they worked slower? Of course not, because time isn't the value, the outcome is. If this hits a little too close to home, don't worry. I've been there too. I used to equate hours worked with worth delivered until I realized I wasn't building freedom. I was just building a prettier cage. The moment everything changed, when I stopped selling time and started packaging transformation, because people don't want your hours, they want their problem solved. And when you price based on value, not time, you shift from being a worker to being seen as a leader. Trap number two is where a lot of solopreneurs land right after they start charging by the hour. They start packaging up their expertise into projects, sessions, or monthly retainers, and it feels like they've made progress because now they're getting paid for value, not time. But here's the trap. You can't scale a service that suffocates your schedule. If you have to show up every time to get paid, then your business cannot grow past. Let me ask you something. What happens to your income if you step away for 30 days? Does the money keep coming in? Or does it vanish the moment you do? If your revenue resets every month, if you're onboarding every client manually, if you have to physically be there to deliver the results, you're not scaling, you're just stretching. That's right. This trap is sneaky because it feels productive. You're booked, you're delivering, you're servicing, but deep down, every yes means more hours, more strain, and more pressure. You're not building momentum. You're just managing the weight of your own offer. Scaling begins the moment your offer starts delivering value without demanding all of your time. That could look like a group program instead of one-on-one, a productized service with fixed steps and outcomes, a digital course, a workshop, replay, a content library, a subscription, a toolkit, a playbook, a license. Because when you offer, because when your offer can grow without grinding you down, your business becomes something you lead, not something that leans on you. Trap number three is one of the most painful because it makes everything else you're building feel invisible. You got an offer, you got skills, you're ready to serve, but no one's showing up. You could have the most life-changing offer in your industry, but if you're not consistently seen, you always feel like you're chasing shadows. Here's what this trap looks like. You post once in a while and hope someone bites. You rely on referrals, but they come randomly. You keep telling yourself you're not a marketer, you're a creator or a coach or a freelancer. But if nobody knows who you are or what you do, they can't choose you because you're not even in the line of sight. This is where solopreneurs confuse doing good work with getting seen for it. They think showing up on social media feels vain or pushy, when in reality, it's not about ego. It's about service through visibility. Because the people who need you are out there, but they're not going to find you by accident. You don't need a million followers, but you do need an audience. Even a small one that knows who you are, what you stand for, and what problems you solve. And when you show up consistently through content, posting, conversations, networking, collaborating, then you get to the point where you stop chasing and you stop waiting for hope and you start attracting because you're creating the value in there. And silence doesn't scale. Trap number 4 is the one that is silently draining your time and your energy and your potential. Even if people see you, even if they like what you offer, they don't know where to go next because there's no system that guides them. Let me show you what the next one is. Number 4, no sales system, with a big emphasis on system. If you're the system, you don't have a system. And without a funnel, your business leaks energy, time, and opportunity. For example, you post content, but there's no clear next step. People DM you, but you're answering the same question over and over and over. Someone shows interest, and now you're manually explaining your offers every single time. Everything depends on you, your knowledge, your effort, your availability. You are the funnel. But that's not scalable. That's exhausting. A funnel isn't just a tech tool, it's a guided path. A step-by-step experience that turns strangers into buyers without you repeating yourself 50 times a week. And when it's built right, it works while you sleep. It nurtures leads. It educates. It positions your offer. It invites the sale. Trap number 5 is one that most entrepreneurs fall into quietly. And this is the pricing problem. More specifically, the random pricing problem. Price panic punishes your profit, and guessing your prices guarantees you're getting paid less than what you're worth. Here's how this trap shows up. You set your price based on what other people are charging, or what you think your audience can afford, or worse, what you're afraid to charge. You don't have a pricing strategy, you have a pricing mood. And if it changes based on how confident you're feeling that day, but here's the hard truth. If you don't price based on value and positioning, you're not undercharging, you're undervaluing. Because pricing doesn't just determine your income, it shapes perception. Your price tells a story about how you are, how good your offer is, and what kind of result you deliver. And when you underprice from fear, you attract clients who undervalue your work and overdrain your energy. Pricing should be intentional, strategic, aligned, not impulsive or emotional of it. Trap number 6 isn't about your tools. It's not about your funnel, your pricing, or even your audience. It's about what's going on inside. See, you can build bold with a broke belief, and what you believe in private shows up in your business and public. This trap shows up quietly but powerfully. It sounds like, I'm not ready. Who would pay that much for me? I need more certifications before I charge that. I don't want to be seen salesy. You say you want a 6-figure business, but deep down, part of you doesn't even believe you deserve it yet, or that you're not the kind of person that builds that kind of success. This trap is dangerous because it shapes every decision you make. The clients you say yes to, the ones you chase, the ones you avoid. It affects how you price, how you show up, and how long you stay small, even when you're ready for more. Trap number 7 is the badge the solopreneur wears with pride until it wears them down. It's the I do it all myself mentality. A business built on your back will break it. Doing everything alone doesn't make you more resourceful, it makes you replaceable. Let me be real with you. I get it. In the beginning, you had to wear all the hats. You were the designer, the bookkeeper, the scheduler, the social media manager, the closer, all while delivering the work. And maybe you even felt proud of it, like you were scrappy, like you were saving money. But here's the truth. Doing it all doesn't make you a hero. It makes you the bottleneck. Every time you spend 2 hours wrestling with Canva, you're not building your business. You're babysitting it. If every month starts at zero, you're not growing, you're grinding. Projects pay bills, not peace. Here's how this trap shows up. You land a new client or project and it feels like a win. You do the work, get paid, deliver the results, and then it's gone. No follow up, no recurring revenue, no momentum. You're back to hunting again. One time projects may pay the bills, but they don't build a business. They just reset the clock every 30 days. Because stacking one off wins doesn't create momentum, it creates burnout. You deserve more than your short term wins. You deserve ongoing growth without starting from zero every single time. Trap number 9 is the illusion of momentum. Your business is dependent on referrals, but there's no system and it's based on hope as to whether or not a referral is going to come in the door the next day or today. Referrals are a gift, not a growth strategy. Hope-driven hustle is not a system. Let me ask you, if you stop posting, stop networking, stop reminding people what you do, would anyone still come in the next month? For a lot of solopreneurs, the answer is no. Because their growth depends on being remembered, not being found. Real businesses don't wait to be discovered. They create visibility. They build demand. They guide people through a consistent path, not a guessing game. You don't need millions of leads tomorrow, but you do need a system that gets you seen, builds trust, and invites action. Trap number 10 is where many solopreneurs burn most of their energy and get the least return. It's what I call tactic hopping, when your direction changes every week based on the last podcast you heard, the latest trends that you saw, or whatever someone else says is working right now. Scatter steps never scale, and if your plan changes every week, you're not building, you're reacting. One week you're trying Instagram Reels, next week it's webinar, then it's a podcast launch, then TikTok, then cold DMs, then a channel funnel. You feel busy, you feel productive, but the truth is, you're just pivoting in place. The real problem, you're collecting tactics without a vision. You're following noise instead of following a path. Growth doesn't come from trying everything. It comes from executing the right things in the right order with the right focus. Strategy gives you direction. It helps you say no. It tells you what to build now, what to ignore, and what to double down on. Without strategy, every move is just a guess, and your business becomes a blur of half-built funnels, half-finished ideas, and one more online course you never implemented. So those are the 10 silent traps that keeps over 28 million solopreneurs stuck. And maybe right now, you see yourself in 2 or maybe all 10. If that's you, don't feel discouraged. Feel seen. Because this isn't a failure problem, it's a pattern problem. You've been trying to build freedom with tools that were only meant to keep you afloat. But now you know, and now we will rebuild. This was just the beginning. In the next videos, I'm going to break down each of these traps one by one and give you clear, actionable steps to fix them. We're going to turn random effort into strategy. Time for money into leverage. Chaos into control. And survival into scale. Drop a comment below. Which trap hit the hardest? I read every single comment. In the next video, we're going to start with the most common identity trap, and that's the mindset one. You've outgrown the hustle. Now it's time to build something that grows without breaking you. I'll see you in the next one.